Hello, dear listeners, and welcome to our podcast. My name is James. Today, we want to talk about the expulsion of British diplomats by Russia. To expel someone means to send them away. In this case, Russia sent away British diplomats. This happened because of a big problem between the two countries.
Hi everyone, I'm Sophia. A diplomat is a person who works for their government in another country. They try to keep peace and help solve problems between nations. When Russia expelled the British diplomats, it showed that something serious had happened. This action made the relationship between Russia and the UK more difficult.
The expulsion of British diplomats happened in 2018. Russia told 23 British diplomats to leave the country. This action came after a serious event in the UK. A former Russian spy named Sergei Skripal and his daughter were poisoned in England. The UK blamed Russia for this attack.
Yes, the UK said that Russia used a dangerous chemical to poison them. This poison is called Novichok. It can hurt people very badly. The UK said this was not only an attack on two people, but also a threat to safety in the country. That's why the UK was very angry.
After that, the UK expelled 23 Russian diplomats. Then, Russia did the same thing. This is called a tit-for-tat move. It means when one side does something, the other side answers in the same way. This made the situation between the two countries even more tense.
Many other countries supported the UK. They also expelled Russian diplomats from their countries. Russia said it did nothing wrong and called the UK's actions unfair. This made the disagreement grow bigger. Each side said the other was not being honest.
This event was not just about two people. It became a fight between two governments. Trust between Russia and the UK was broken. Both sides stopped working together like before. This was bad for international peace and cooperation.
When countries stop talking and start pushing each other away, it is not good. Diplomats are supposed to help build understanding. But when they are expelled, it means that communication is broken. That can cause even more problems between countries.
When diplomats are sent away, it's more than just people leaving. It is a strong message. Russia was saying, "We don't accept what you are doing," and the UK was saying the same. This kind of action is called a diplomatic crisis. It shows that the two countries are not getting along.
Yes, James, and when a diplomatic crisis happens, other countries watch carefully. They want to see who is right, who is wrong, and what might happen next. It can also affect travel, business, and even peace in other parts of the world.
Many people in the UK were afraid after the poisoning. It happened in a quiet city called Salisbury. People were not used to this kind of danger. Police and scientists worked hard to clean the area and keep people safe. It was a scary time for everyone there.
Some people asked, why would something like this happen in our country? The answer was not clear, but the UK believed that Russia was trying to send a warning. That's why the UK acted quickly to protect its people and show that such actions are not okay.
This is why the UK government wanted other countries to stand with them, and many countries did. The European Union, the United States, and others also expelled Russian diplomats. It was a big moment where many nations stood together.
But Russia did not stay silent. It also expelled diplomats from many of those countries. Russia said it was only defending itself. It said the UK had no proof. So the argument continued, and both sides stopped trusting each other even more.
The expulsion of diplomats also hurt the work of embassies. An embassy is a building where diplomats work in another country. They help with visas, safety, and talking between governments. When diplomats are sent away, the embassy cannot do its job well.
That's true, James. Imagine you are a British person living in Russia, and you need help. With fewer diplomats in the embassy, it becomes harder to get support. The same is true for Russian people in the UK. Both sides feel the results of the expulsion.
Also, students, artists, and workers who travel between the UK and Russia can face problems. They may find it harder to get visas or do international projects. When countries stop trusting each other, even normal people feel the changes.
Before the poisoning, Russia and the UK had problems, but they still talked. After the expulsion, communication almost stopped. That made it hard to solve other problems. Talking is always better than silence in politics.
Many leaders around the world said that diplomacy is very important. Even when countries don't agree, they should keep talking. Expelling diplomats is like closing a door. Once it is closed, it can be very hard to open again.
This story teaches us that actions between countries can have many effects. It is not only about the governments, it's also about the people. Peace and safety depend on good communication, respect, and working together even when things go wrong.
After the diplomats were expelled, the relationship between Russia and the UK became cold. This is sometimes called a cold relationship. It means they stopped working together and started seeing each other as enemies, not partners. This can be dangerous in the long term.
Yes, James, a cold relationship can lead to more problems. Countries may stop sharing important information. They may also stop helping each other during world events. For example, if there is a big health or safety problem, it's harder to solve it without trust.
Some people hoped that time would help. They thought maybe after some months or years, things could improve. But trust is hard to rebuild once it is broken. Both sides continued to blame each other. They spoke strong words in public and stayed far apart.
And when big countries fight, smaller countries feel the pressure too. Some are asked to take sides, others worrying about their own safety. That's why people say peace between powerful nations is important for the whole world.
Even now, the event from 2018 is still remembered. It showed how one serious act, like the poisoning, can lead to a chain of actions. First came the blame, then the expulsion, and then the loss of trust. It happened step by step, but quickly.
It also shows how powerful diplomacy is. When it works, countries solve problems with words, not actions. But when diplomacy breaks, the results can be big and painful. It affects governments, people, and the feeling of peace around the world.
Even though the UK and Russia had problems, some people still tried to make peace. Some leaders and groups said, "Let's talk. Let's find a way to fix this." These people understand that peace takes work. It needs calm voices and open minds.
Yes, James, peace doesn't just happen. It needs people who are ready to listen. They don't have to agree on everything, but they must try to understand each other. When countries stop listening, problems grow bigger and harder to fix.
Sometimes, small steps can help. Maybe one country lets a few diplomats return. Or maybe they meet in a safe place to talk. These steps may seem small, but they are important. They show that both sides want to move forward, not stay in anger.
Also, people from both countries, students, teachers, artists can help build bridges. When they meet, talk, and share ideas, they bring hope. These people don't make big news, but they are very important for peace and understanding.
And the world is watching. When two big countries fight or make peace, other countries learn from them. That's why leaders must be careful with their actions. Their choices don't just affect their own country, they affect everyone.
The story of the expelled diplomats teaches us how deep and serious world problems can be. It also shows us the power of speaking, listening, and working together, even after a bad time.
The expulsion of British diplomats by Russia was not just about politics. It was about safety, trust, and how countries solve problems. It started with one event, but it touched many lives. It changed how the nations saw each other and how they spoke to each other.
Yes, James, and it reminds us that peace between countries is not easy. It needs care, respect, and strong communication. When trust is broken, it takes time and effort to repair it. But giving up is never the answer. Talking is always better than silence.
Even now, the UK and Russia do not have a strong relationship. But people still hope that things can improve. Time, honest conversation, and peaceful actions can help rebuild what was lost. It takes leaders and also everyday people to work for peace.
We hope our listeners understand this story better now. It's not just about diplomats or governments, it's about all of us. What happens between countries can affect our daily lives, our future, and the peace in the world we live in.
Thank you all for joining us and listening carefully. We tried to explain this big topic in a simple way. It's important to learn about the world and how countries talk to each other, especially in hard times.
Take care, everyone, and keep learning. Understanding the world helps us make it better. This is Sophia, saying goodbye and wishing you peace.